Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Palmisano here, and I got something fun for you today. I had the privilege of sitting in with Daniel Donato and his Cosmic Country Band a little while ago when they came through the 8x10 here in Baltimore, and they invited me to sit in. And I just want to first and foremost say thank you to Daniel and his whole band. You guys were absolutely tremendous, incredibly kind, and we had an absolute ball. It's so cool when touring bands like you invite internet people like me that we've never played before, with before, and didn't rehearse the tunes, and you just invite me on your stage. It's just, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So I've done one of these videos before when I sat in with Humphreys McGee. Again, mind-blowing that a band like that would invite someone like me on stage. Like, I know I'm a good player, but like, you guys meet me for the first time. You're like, hey, come on stage. I mean, how cool is that? And that video was great. People loved watching me dissect my thoughts of watching me sitting with a band I've never played with before. Because everything on this channel is, we're guessing. We're taking educated guesses on what the player may or may not be thinking. But I'm going to watch me, and I know exactly what I was thinking. So I have not watched this footage. I'm doing it with you in real time, okay? I know there was some good stuff. I know there was some bad stuff. Whatever. We're going to go through it. One last thing I'll add before we get going. Gear. Signal chain. So Daniel gave me a Telecaster with a B-bender, which I've never used before in my life, okay? And had me plugged in direct through a Fender Mustang pointed off stage. It was just coming out the monitors. No pedals, no tuner on stage, with a B-bender, no rehearsal, nothing. Okay? How awesome is that? Let's hit the button. And, oh yeah. So, how we picked this tune, I went backstage. He wanted me to play a different tune, and I had listened to some of his set from YouTube before, and he had played this Fish tune going into Way More Blues. And I was like, dude, that is just the coolest combo ever. So I asked him if we could do that, and he said, sure, here we go. And it's in F. Thanks for getting this footage, too. Really appreciate it. So this little lick. So you're in F7 here like this, and sliding into the 5, flat 7, walking straight up to the root. All right, let's do it. Four to flat 3. So I'm just trying to find some space in there and make sure I get the form right. So it's got this. And then it goes to the 4. Flat 3. Both major, okay? And then when it goes to the chorus, flat 7, such a cool little grab here, to the 4, flat 3, and back to the 1 to F. That's your basic form. So right now, I'm just kind of establishing it, and in between when he's singing, I'm just doing a little, just a little country minor stuff, 1 flat 7, 5, 4, flat 3, 1. all those types of things.
Now I'm gone and I'll never look back again.
Keys.
I'm gone and I'll never look back at all.
I'm just so happy to be gigging here.
You know I'll never look back again. I turn my face into the howling wind. Took me a long time to get back on the train.
Dude, I was so happy to be playing again. So basically, I took that one super safe. I came in with laying out that flat 7, doing some minor stuff, right? But when it started moving towards the changes, instead of following that down, minor, I, for no reason, decided to go major. And when Daniel went down, or the band went down to get that flat 3, I was in major, bending up through it, right? And you see Daniel in there give me a little nod like, going major there. But then I immediately jumped up and sell it again, right? So that wasn't something that I would probably do again. That was me not gigging in a while and like being like, okay, I'm jumping to major here. I don't know if the solo is gonna follow the verse form. I definitely got caught there a little bit, but I double tagged it, sold it, make sure I wrapped it up with a little bow on at the end, and then looked at Daniel. He gives me this look like, okay, all right. These tour all the time. Their chops are out of control, man. I'm like in this room all the time. So it takes me a couple minutes to get my footing here.
See my face in the town that's flashing by. See me standing at the station in the rain. See me running every side.
I'm just thinking groove here. Looking at the drummer.
Took me a long time to get back on the train. When I jumped on, I had a bucket full of sharks. When I first jumped
Quick little
off,
run,
I
start
had
to
a
feel
bucket
it.
in my head. Ideas that would take me all around the world. Something about your smoke behind this mountain, girl. Took me a long time to get back on.
This is a great tune.
Took me a long time to get back on.
I'm watching Daniel to see if he's going to take it.
Took me a long time to get
Triple
back
tag, so I'm just watching. So right here, there's an option. There's a choice. We have not communicated on who's taking the lead or what. I'm watching him for each one. He does one chorus, he does 2 chorus, then he does a triple chorus, and I'm like, okay, what are we doing next? And he kind of casually just turns to me with his body language, but he doesn't give me the eye contact like you're taking this one. And I didn't like give him the thing like I'm backing up, right? So when he turns to me, I just do a little tease from flat 7 to 1 to F just to see if he'll bite, right? Because it'd be cool to go back and forth. I didn't know if he would. And immediately he turns to me and responds. And so now we're in a call and response. This is one of these things where I just decided to see if he would do that. And of course, he was more than happy to oblige. So this is one of my favorite moves right here. This is like a classic Michael thing to do. Whenever I'm in these call and response things, so many people get hung up constantly on trying to actually go note for note back and forth with people. I love to do something that that adds something different to the call and response than they would expect. So typically, if someone would come in and be like, right? You would get some type of lick in response. Right? And it would go back and forth. And so right in this situation, I decide to lock in with the drums and just grab a root and a flat 7, I think, just... and just become a complete rhythm part, like a tom on the drums. Little things like that. When people go notey, play less. When people are kind of like, being real melodic, play real rhythmic. I love doing this and just seeing what comes back. And you'll see Donato's a total head cutter, right? It's just he's gonna take over here. But I just wanted to point that out because this is something that I purposefully do a lot when I jam with people, which is like almost never. And the whole band picks up on it, right? You heard everybody go around. Now we're on the keys. Everybody picked up on it. This is the point. Back to a lick. And he's right on it. See, he's following me. Love that key line. All right, so again, we're flowing here. This is one of those things where I introduced this thing, this little rhythmic, right after we did the licks again. I pulled it back to the rhythm part. Whole band realizes what's happening now because they just did it a second ago, and they all lock in on it. Snares start repeating it. This is on stage communication. This is what's happening, right? And it's a part on purpose, and it's a part embracing spontaneity. That's the point. Watch it go. Now we're adding a melody. That drummer's face. Okay, so I totally missed that. Daniel's super nice. He looks right at me with that kind, reassuring look like, bro, you just F-sharped all over my F, right? Totally happened. Just shot right past it, kept playing the line, sounded like complete, but on we go, right? Band brings it down. That was a really cool moment because Daniel and I both decided to do double stops, but he's going up and I'm going down and vice versa. And I'm just thinking F minor, right? The whole thing. And it's just a really, really cool little setup that happens here. So I'm locking into the rhythm now, letting him know I can go to the next part. And supporting it with the band. Drummers on it. And now I'm taking a melody. All right, so what did I do there? I decided to go for it. I started out with this little Dorian type thing, right? So F, so 1 flat 7 major 6 5 to set that thing up, right? And then I just decide, because I can't hold it in any longer, because I want Daniel to come with me, because I'm so psyched to be playing, and I never get the chicken pick with people, and all these things. I just decide to totally jump the gun, right? And do like a little, you know, something like that, right? But hybrid picking, right? And he doesn't expect it to come. You can see the grin kind of pop up on his face, and he's like, okay, all right, where are we going to go? But then I realized that I shot off too soon, and I decide to double step down and all the way back up again, to kind of reestablish the fact that that I'm not just going to noodle in their faces. I'm going to listen to everybody, right, and really lock into the band. Let me bring it back here a second, and you can kind of watch this progression here. Well, I didn't go back far enough. But then after that, I decide to try to mimic the melody of the song, to let everybody know, again, I know the melody of the song. We can bring it back anytime you want to, right? So you see me go through a progression here of confidence mixed with indecision. It's a fascinating little move. All right, here we go. So here we go. Melody twice, and then I decided to launch them. Go all the way up. Double stops down. Daniel loves it. Double stops back up. Bend through major. Melody of the song. Bring the little bit back. So now right there, I held that I was hoping that the whole band realized that I was playing the melody of the song, that and the second time through, I was hoping they'd go to grab that. It didn't happen. And I see Daniel realizes it, and you see him look around, right? So there's all these little attempts in here just to see what happens. So now they're starting to slow it down and bring it into way more smooth. Yeah, so that look is me trying for the first time to do the B bender. So what I do is I'm in F major, even though this song is F minor, right? Root, flat 7, 5, 4, flat 3, 1. But the major tonality behind it, it just works in those country tunes. It's F major, but the lick is. That's the bluesy sound when you play minor behind major, right? Because the major third always wins in the overall tonality, but the minor third creates that bluesy sound. So I decide to take this F major and make this a flat 7 like that, and then use the strap to bend it up, the flat 7 to the 1. And so I've never used one of these before, but if this felt like a safe spot, and you could see Daniel's face when I hit it, he's like, yeah, B-bender, yeah. So now we're just syncing into it. Let me restart the camera. All right, we're back in. I just want to make sure it's not, not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Here we go. Adding a little blues in there.
Well, I woke up this morning, it was just a little rain. On the curve comes a passenger train. Heard somebody yodeling a hobo moan.
Now I'm just laying off.
Jimmy's dead, it's been a long time gone. Been a long time gone. It's been a long time gone.
Yeah, see? All right. So this is a great little progression for all you guys. So it's just 1 to a 4, F major, B flat major, right? But there's so much space in here. There's so much space. Check this out. Let me bring it back just a shade here. So you got... So there's the B bender. Let me walk you through it here. That's a little... Where you... 5th, flat 3, flat 5, into the 4. Love that little move. Now check it out.
Well, I woke up this morning, it was just a little rain. On the curve comes a passenger train. Heard somebody yodeling a hobo moan. Jimmy's dead, it's been a long time gone. Been a long time gone.
So I'm just trying to make space. Goes to the 4. I go B flat. I'm adding in that flat 7th to add that little shake in the space here, and I'm gonna hold it and let Daniel respond. Right, and then once he goes, he goes like what's he go? I don't know exactly what he does, but then while I'm holding this, once he does that and lets it ring, then I do one of these, right, to kind of bring it down. I'm still letting it shake in space, and I'm gonna wait for a snare hit, and then get the together. And you can tell the band just loves this. I mean, I love this. This is why I wanted to do this tune. It's so killer. Yeah, he likes that move. That flat 7 major to 1 major.
Wanna get to heaven, got a D-I-E. You gotta put on your coat and D-Y-E. If you wanna get the rabbit out the L-O-G, you gotta make a commotion like a D-O-G. A D-O-G.
Shout out to the bass player, man. Those harmonies sound great.
Like a D-O-G.
That B bender again. Daniel sounds so good here. So I'm just trying to stay out of his way here, but I want to make that drop big. Rum, bum, 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 bum. Listen to how delicate he's making the guitar sing up there. Dude's a total master, total pro. Daniel, you know I love your playing.
Well, I had a good woman, what's the matter with me? What makes me wanna love every woman I see? I was trifling when I met her, now I'm trifling again. Every woman she sees makes it feel like sin. Feels like sin. Makes it feel like sin.
swimming in.
When I got my name painted on my shirt, I ain't no ordinary dude.
So you can see, my hand is off the neck. I didn't know they were going to do this part. Just let it go. You're ever in a band situation, you don't know what the people are going to do? Worst case scenario is play something. Worst case scenario. Okay? Even if it's the tonic and you think it's safe, just watch. I'm not going to pick my hand up again till I know what's going to happen, or I choose to mute the strings. Depends on the volume of the situation. But that's what's happening here. Don't be afraid to leave space, especially when it's not your band.
I don't have to work. I don't have to work.
So I knew the fool was coming here, right?
I don't have to work.
Starting to pick it up. Now you can see, Daniel and I are doing it in different places, right? I'm doing it, right? He's here. Right? We're out of each other's zone. Keyboards, bass lower, and we're just watching each other, feeling the tempo pick up. And then it starts to burn. Okay, so you kind of saw the exact same thing happen that I did before, which is, he calls me in to go, and I totally just shoot for the moon right away. I don't have a pedal to hit. There's nothing to hide behind. I just feel like it, right? It's a little sloppy. The band is absolutely carrying me through that part. They're all waiting to see if I, want to stop screwing around and play a tune again. I could easily not point that out, but that's what you're seeing here. I realize it, and this has been a goal of my life, and I would encourage you all to act similarly. When you realize you're just noodling, okay, and you're not saying anything that anybody's going to remember, stop immediately. So I go through that whole progression. I'm seeing if my chops are close to what they used to be. The answer is they're not. Okay, this is a touring band. Their chops are out of control. They're pushing each other night after night after night. You only push yourself so much when you're in a room. There's nothing like being on stage with people. No one pushes you more than other people. Okay. It's just a fact. And so I just decided to push it, kind of fall off the rails a little bit, come back, realize it, establish double stops, because double stops, but the rhythm of it allows the band to kind of settle in with me, allows me to settle in with the band, allows me to listen to the snare, okay? And then I do the same thing I did before. I say, okay, let me see if I can bring it back, the ear back to the previous solo, and I'm going to do that same basic thing. That little Dorian motif that I introduced before. So now I'm like, okay, we're back to baseline here, and then so all I'm doing right here is I'm seeing if I can get the thing to sustain. Remember, I'm plugged into direct. I don't have a pedal to hit. I'm all the way jacked on my thing, and so all I'm really doing is trying to do as much controlled vibrato as I can to really make it sear through. In this environment, if I didn't shake it like that, there's no way it would cut through. It would just sit there and die a very lonely death. So I'm squeezing every inch of life out of these single notes as I can right here. That's what I'm thinking. Single notes, squeezing every inch of life out of them as I can. And of course, once I realize the band is with me, okay, and it's up tempo like that, I decide to shoot for the moon again. But I do this in the vain attempt to try to get Daniel to come with me, right? Because I really want to see if he'll come with me. And if my memory serves correct, he does right here, finally. And we finally get to that place where I've been shooting for this entire 12 minutes and 18 seconds, where he can bring out his blistering chops and push me. Because what I really, really want, what I wanted to happen from all of this, is to play with someone better than I was, to push me. That's the goal. That's why you always want to sit in with people and put yourself in uncomfortable situations and play with people better than you, because they will push you more than you would ever push yourself. And an incredible amount of growth happens, not just physically, but mentally, when you do things like this in real time. So this is what you're about to see. You're going to see me, do whatever I decide to pick. It's kind of irrelevant, but I decide to go for it, and Daniel jumps in here. And he beats on me pretty good, and I'm like, totally loving it. See, I'm looking at him. So this is an interesting thing that's happening here. So we do it for a little bit. I get tired. I don't do this all the time, right? I decide, and because he follows me, like my dreams are coming true, right? But I realize that I'm not going to be able to keep the blistering pace. So I make the musical decision to go back to that motif that I did before. Daniel stays with it, realizes what's happening, and now he decides to do double stops down and up the same way that I did before, right? Giving you that landing. And he takes over. And so now he takes over and I'm back into I mean, just such a great player, such a great communicator. He's rocking the melody. end with that little beat bend of that. Right?
Thank you, everybody. See you soon.
I mean, smiles all around. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you learned something from this video. That there's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of decision making. There's a lot of spontaneity. There's also an incredible amount of accountability, realizing when things don't work and choosing to switch, right? Having the different tools in your bag, if you will. There's an incredible amount of kindness on stage, an incredible amount of listening, and of course, virtuosity from the band. It is the dream of a lifetime to be able to make the connection between the digital online and real life, and to form these relationships online, and to have people have the confidence in me that somehow translates through the video, that they feel comfortable enough to inviting me on stage, playing through a rig that I don't know, songs I've never played before, direct, when they come through tour, I'm so grateful. I miss gigging so much, but I love my life. I love teaching online. I love that I built a life around my family, and I get to reach you all at scale, and be an educator. But man, I like moving some air with the guys. You know what I mean? And making some noise and picking. All of you watching this channel and supporting me has enabled me to connect with these people, which then has led to them inviting me to sit in with them, and it's become like full circle, and it's just the coolest thing in the world. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I hope you enjoy these videos. I hope you learn something. I hope it motivates you. I hope it inspires you. And that's it. Please subscribe. Please like, tell your friends. And if you want to make the jump, come over to GuitarGate. Not only do you get all my lessons, all my courses, my entire life's work, but you get access to the community, which you'll find speaks to what I was just talking about, is that you're motivated and inspired to pick it up and keep it in your hands, because there's other people doing it that you see every day, posting videos, asking questions, and it makes you say, you know what? Maybe this time I won't do blank, blank, blank. I'm going to pick up my guitar and I'm going to work on something. That's the goal. Love you all so much. Daniel, your whole band, love you all. Cheers.